Welcome to MaxLife Man, your essential YouTube channel, expertly led by our top expert, Dr. Sterling Thorne. Dr. Thorne and his top team from the prestigious Evergreen Peaks Institute bring years of dedicated research and hands-on experience in men's health. We deliver insightful, heartfelt podcasts designed to optimize your health and unlock your best self. Gentlemen, let's face it. If you are over 60, the questions you whisper to yourself late at night are the same ones millions of older men carry. Is masturbation still safe at my age? Could it hurt my prostate? Am I making mistakes that drain my health without even knowing it? Society told you to stay silent. Doctors rarely bring it up, but silence is not wisdom, it's weakness. And today we are breaking that silence. Here's the truth. Masturbation after 60 can either protect your vitality or quietly rob you of it. Done wrongly, it leads to inflammation, weaker erections, and restless nights. Done wisely, it supports blood flow, intimacy, and the sexual wellness every man deserves. And before we dive deeper, let me ask you a favor. Tap that like button. Not for me, but for yourself. Because every man who hits like here will carry a reminder. You're choosing health, strength, and senior wisdom. And I'll say this, those who press like, I wish you blessings of energy, joy, and the kind of unexpected good fortune that only comes when you decide to take care of your body. Try it and see if life doesn't surprise you. Gentlemen, let's get straight to it. The biggest mistake older men make when it comes to masturbation isn't doing it, it's how they do it. Too fast, too rough, too often. For decades, you may have trained your body to chase release like a sprint. But after 60, your nerves are more fragile, your prostate more sensitive, your circulation slower. Treating your body like it's still 25 is like driving a classic car at full speed over potholes. You're going to break something. Here's what happens scientifically. Aggressive stimulation compresses delicate penile nerves, lowering sensitivity over time. Excessive frequency can drain testosterone, leaving you feeling weaker instead of stronger. And skipping recovery time inflames the prostate, increasing those nighttime bathroom trips you already hate. I've seen men in their 70s come to me with numbness, erectile fatigue, and pelvic pain, all because they thought more, harder, faster was the only way. But senior wisdom says otherwise. At this stage of life, less intensity, more patience, and mindful technique protect both your prostate and your pleasure. Now let me ask you, have you ever noticed that sometimes instead of feeling relaxed afterward, you feel drained, even irritated? If that sounds like you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I read every single response, and your honesty might help another man realize he's not alone. The problem is, most men ignore the warning signs until it's too late. So how do you know if your habits are quietly hurting you instead of helping? Here are the red flags I see again and again in my clinic. Numbness or reduced sensitivity. If you need more and more pressure to feel the same result, that's nerve fatigue. Pelvic or lower back pain afterward. A classic sign of prostate inflammation. Weaker erections over time, not age alone, often the result of overstimulation draining nitric oxide reserves. Sleep disturbance. Instead of relaxation, you end up restless, waking up multiple times at night. Emotional fatigue. You don't feel renewed, you feel guilty, drained, or even depressed. Let me share a real case. A 68-year-old man from Ohio came to me saying, "Doc, I thought I was keeping myself young. But lately, it feels like my body punishes me afterward." He was exhausted, his prostate swollen, and his sensitivity almost gone. The truth? His routine was too rough, too frequent, and left no time for recovery. Once he slowed down, changed technique, and gave his body rest, within weeks his strength and his confidence returned. Now I want you to reflect. Have you noticed any of these signs in your own life? Don't be shy. Drop your answer in the comments. Even one word could help another man recognize the truth in himself. That's how this community grows stronger. Gentlemen, let me be clear. The goal here is not to shame you or tell you to stop altogether. Far from it. In fact, masturbation, when done wisely, can be one of the healthiest practices for men over 60. Here's why. Done gently in moderation and with the right mindset, it can improve circulation. Gentle arousal increases nitric oxide, helping blood flow to the heart, brain, and of course the penis. Relieve stress. A careful release lowers cortisol, calming the nervous system so you actually sleep better. Protect prostate health. Controlled ejaculation helps flush toxins from the prostate and reduces stagnation. Boost intimacy. For men who feel shy or disconnected from their partners, healthy self-practice can restore confidence and ease. I had a patient, 72 years old, who came to me embarrassed, saying, "Doc, I thought I was too old for this, but I still feel the urge. Am I broken?" My answer: no, you're human, your body is still alive, and when you treat it with respect, it rewards you. So, gentlemen, here's the key: it's not about denial, it's about discipline. Not about stopping, but about shaping the practice so it serves your vitality, not steals it. Now let me ask you, do you believe masturbation can actually help your health if done right? If yes, type YES in the comments. If you're skeptical, type no. I want to see where you stand because your honesty might open the door for someone else's breakthrough. The doctor's safe technique after 60. Gentlemen, let's talk practical. It's one thing to warn you about mistakes, but what you really need is a clear, safe method you can use today. Here's my prescription drawn from decades as a urologist. Slow down your body is not a race car anymore, it's a classic engine. Take your time. Gentle, steady movements protect the nerves and increase satisfaction without damage. Use lubrication. Dry friction is your enemy. A natural, water-based lubricant reduces strain on penile skin and nerves, lowering inflammation risk. Mind your frequency. For most men over 60, 2 to 3 times per week is healthy. Daily release often exhausts hormones and leaves you weaker. Change your grip. Avoid the same aggressive pressure you used in youth. Rotate techniques. Use lighter stimulation. Even involve mindfulness, focusing on breathing and relaxation rather than force. Respect recovery afterward. Hydrate, stretch lightly, and allow your body to reset. This turns the act into a health practice instead of a hidden drain. I recall a 65-year-old man who said, "Doc, I never thought slowing down would make it better, but now not only do I last longer, I feel stronger the next day." That's the difference between reckless habit and senior wisdom. Now let's make this interactive. If you found even one of these tips valuable, hit the like button right now. Because here's my promise. Every man who does so, I'll send you a blessing for stronger health, deeper sleep, and the kind of energy that makes your loved ones notice. When to seek medical help. Gentlemen, this part is crucial, because while safe masturbation can be healthy, there are moments when it crosses the line. And that's when you need a doctor, not denial. Here are the red flags I want you to watch for. Persistent pelvic or testicular pain, not just soreness, but discomfort that lingers for days. Blood in semen or urine, a clear signal your prostate or urinary tract needs attention. Sudden loss of sensitivity when touch barely registers. Frequent nighttime urination more than 2-3 times per night. Erections that fade quickly, especially if this becomes a pattern. I had a patient, not a one-off, 70 years old, who ignored these warnings for months. He thought it was just old age. By the time he came to me, his prostate was severely inflamed and his recovery took much longer than it had to. Don't make that mistake. Remember this. A real man doesn't hide his problems, he faces them. And the truth is, the sooner you act, the easier it is to heal. Now I want to hear from you. Would you rather know the truth early or keep guessing until things get worse? Drop your answer in the comments. That one comment might inspire another man to finally book his checkup. Prostate health and senior intimacy. Gentlemen, let's shift from fear to hope. Because caring for your prostate isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about unlocking more years of intimacy, confidence, and joy. Your prostate is the silent engine of your manhood. When it's inflamed, you feel it everywhere. Weaker erections, more bathroom trips, less desire. But when it's healthy, blood flow improves, testosterone stays balanced, and intimacy, whether with your partner or with yourself, feels alive again. Here's the truth. Intimacy after 60 doesn't fade because you're old. It fades because men ignore the signals their prostate is sending. Protect it, and you protect your masculinity. How do you do that? Eat more prostate-friendly foods, tomatoes, pomegranate, pumpkin seeds. Stay active. Even a 20-minute walk daily lowers inflammation. Keep your routine balanced. Safe release a few times a week, not reckless habit every night. And of course, get regular checkups. Your future self will thank you. I remember a 66-year-old gentleman telling me, "Doc, once I changed my habits, my wife said I felt like the man she married again." That's the reward, intimacy restored, not lost. Now let me ask you, do you believe senior intimacy can actually get better with age if you protect your health? Comment better if you do, or worse if you doubt it. I'll be reading, and your response might give courage to another man tonight. The doctor's final advice for men over 60. Gentlemen, let me speak from the heart. After more than 30 years as a urologist, I've sat across from thousands of men, fathers, husbands, veterans, workers, who all carried the same unspoken fear. Am I still a man, or has age stolen that from me? Here's my answer. No, age has not stolen it, but neglect might, silence might, denial might. If you are over 60, your manhood is not gone. It is asking you to respect it, to listen to your prostate, to care for your circulation, to stop mistreating your nerves, and yes, to embrace your sexuality with wisdom, not recklessness. This isn't about shame. It isn't about guilt. It's about dignity, because your body deserves care, and your partner deserves your presence, not the half-asleep, worn-down version of you that too many men settle for. So here is my final advice. Treat masturbation as maintenance, not obsession. Seek medical help when red flags appear. Never wait. Nourish your prostate with food, movement, and rest. And most of all, remember, your masculinity isn't measured by frequency, but by the quality of your health and the depth of your intimacy. I want you to leave today with one thought burned into your mind. You are not broken. You are not too old. You are still here, and you still matter. Now, before I take you to the final word, I want to hear from you. What's the biggest lesson you've learned so far in this video? Share it in the comments, because your wisdom might be exactly what another man needs tonight. Conclusion: taking back your health and manhood. Gentlemen, we've come full circle. We started with a question most men are too afraid to ask. Is masturbation after 60 safe, or is it slowly harming me? Now you know the truth. It's not the act itself that defines your future, it's how you approach it. With wisdom, moderation, and care, it can be part of a healthy, vibrant life. With recklessness, denial, and silence, it can steal your energy, your prostate health, even your confidence. Here's what I want you to carry with you. You are not broken. You are not finished. You are still a man, and your choices today can restore years of intimacy, strength, and dignity. Whether it's adjusting your habits, seeking medical help, or simply listening to your body, you hold the power to reclaim your health and manhood. So I'm asking you, take that step. Don't leave this video and slip back into silence. Share your thoughts in the comments, because what you say might save another man. Hit that like button, because every click pushes this truth out to more seniors who need it. Subscribe so you and I can walk this journey together week after week. And share this video with a brother, a father, a friend, because no man should feel alone in this. I'll leave you with this blessing. May your health grow stronger, your nights grow deeper, and your manhood, your very spirit, shine brighter than ever. Because, gentlemen, the best years are not behind you. They are waiting. Q&A, answering men's real questions. Gentlemen, I read every comment, every email, and many of you ask the same things. Doc, how often is too often? Right arrow for most men over 60, 2-3 times per week is safe. What if I have no desire anymore? Right arrow often, that's circulation and hormones, not the end of manhood. Small changes can restart desire. Does watching adult content make it worse? Right arrow for some, yes. Overstimulation of the brain can desensitize nerves faster than the body alone. Can masturbation replace intimacy? Right arrow, it should never replace, it should support. Intimacy is more than release, it's connection. What if I already have prostate issues? Right arrow, then caution is key. Gentle, less frequent practice plus medical supervision is the path. I want to hear more of your questions. Drop them below. I may feature your story or your concern in the next video. The emotional side no one talks about. Gentlemen, let's step into the part of this conversation that almost no doctor dares to touch, because this is bigger than biology. This is about the mind, the heart, and the spirit of a man. You see, many men past 60 come into my office with the same quiet confession. They lean in, lower their voices, and say, "Doc, it's not just about erections, it's about feeling like myself again." That line breaks my heart every time, because what they are really telling me is that intimacy, for them, is not only physical, it's proof that they are still alive, still masculine, still worthy of being seen. When masturbation becomes reckless, guilt-ridden, or hidden, it doesn't just strain your body, it erodes your spirit. You don't feel stronger afterward, you feel smaller. You don't feel relaxed, you feel ashamed. And shame is poison. It eats away at confidence, at joy, at the very spark that makes you walk a little taller. Building a healthy routine. Gentlemen, I want you to picture something. Think of your sexual health not as a light switch you flick on and off, but as a garden you tend every day. If you water it, care for it, pull the weeds, it thrives. If you neglect it, it withers, no matter how strong the roots once were. Too many men at this stage of life treat their sexuality like a machine. Press the button, get the result. But biology doesn't work that way after 60. Your nerves, your blood vessels, your prostate, they respond to rhythm, balance, and consistency. That's why I often tell my patients, treat your sexual health like a workout routine. You wouldn't hit the same muscle at the gym every day. Why hammer your prostate and your nerves with no rest? So what does a healthy rhythm look like? Morning setting the tone. The first hour of your day decides more than you think. A tall glass of water, a 5-minute stretch, even a 10-minute walk in the sun does more for your circulation and testosterone than most men realize. Gentle movement pumps oxygen into the blood. Sunlight resets your circadian rhythm, helping your sleep hormones later. I've seen men who thought they needed pills discover that simply walking each morning restored energy. And yes, their erections, too. Daytime fueling the body wisely. Food is not just fuel, it's medicine or it's poison. A heavy lunch filled with sugar and processed fats clogs your arteries, making it harder for blood to flow where it matters. But a plate with greens, lean protein, and healthy fats sharpens your mind and primes your body for performance later. Cut down on excess sugar, especially sodas and desserts. Every spoonful of sugar spikes insulin, which suppresses testosterone. It's a hidden cycle that robs men of their vitality without them even knowing. Evening creating space for intimacy. Here's where most men go wrong. They stumble into bed after screens, alcohol, or late-night stress, and then wonder why their body doesn't respond. Evening should be about slowing down, turn off the TV, dim the lights, maybe take a warm shower. This relaxes the nervous system, lowers cortisol, and opens the door for gentle intimacy. If your body calls for release, give it respectfully, slowly, patiently. If not, don't force it. Intimacy is healthiest when it flows naturally, not when it's dragged out of exhaustion. When you live this rhythm, morning movement, daytime balance, evening calm, you're not just protecting your prostate. You're aligning your hormones, your circulation, and your sleep. The result: energy, confidence, sharper memory, and yes, firmer, more reliable erections. I often tell my patients, your body is a schedule, keep it steady and it will reward you. Part 13, the legacy you leave. Gentlemen, let's step back for a moment. This conversation isn't just about you, it's about the generations watching you. Your sons, your grandsons, even younger men in your community, they are silently learning from how you age. They are watching whether you fight for your vitality or surrender it. They are listening not just to what you say, but to how you live. If you choose silence, they will assume decline is destiny. They will think manhood ends at 60. That intimacy is over, that weakness is inevitable, and they will walk into their own old age with fear. But if you choose wisdom, if you care for your body, protect your prostate, stay active, and keep your spirit alive, they will see something different. They will see that manhood is not a number. It is a way of carrying yourself, and that's the legacy you leave. I remember one of my patients, Thomas, 74 years old. He told me his grandson once asked, "Grandpa, how are you still so strong?" And Thomas smiled and said, "Because I never gave up on myself." That boy will never forget those words. This is the power of your choices. They echo, they outlive you. When you stand tall in your later years, you are telling every younger man decline is not destiny. Strength can last. Masculinity can endure. So when you drink water in the morning, when you take your walk, when you practice intimacy wisely, you are not just saving your health. You are teaching your family what it means to be a man at any age. And that, gentleman, is the greatest gift you can give. Not just years of life, but courage, truth, and strength passed on. So I leave you with this. The way you care for yourself today is the story your children will tell tomorrow. Make it a story of wisdom, not surrender. Make it a story that lights the path for every man who comes after you. But when practiced with wisdom, something changes. Gentle self-connection can restore dignity, calm, and even joy. It becomes less about chasing a release and more about honoring your body. It's not just a habit anymore. It's a way of telling yourself, "I'm still here, I'm still me." Let me give you an example. A patient of mine, let's call him Robert, 71 years old, sat across from me and admitted that every time he engaged in self-pleasure, he ended up feeling hollow, like he'd betrayed himself. Why? Because he rushed, he hid, and afterward he treated it like a dirty secret. Over time, that guilt made him withdraw not only from himself, but from his wife, his children, even his friends. Together, we changed his approach. Slowed things down, turned it into a mindful practice rather than a desperate escape. He stopped hiding, even started talking openly with his wife about his needs. And here's the miracle. He didn't just restore his sensitivity, he restored his confidence. His wife told me later, "Doc, it's like he came back to life." This is the part no one tells you. Your mental health matters just as much as your physical health. Depression, isolation, shame, these can hurt your erections far faster than aging ever could. The nervous system and the mind are tied together. If your spirit is crushed, your body will follow. So I'm asking you, as your doctor and as your brother, don't bury your struggles. Don't lock them in the silence of your bedroom. Speak them. Write them down. Share them here in the comments. Because silence breaks men faster than age ever will. And here's the truth. When one man speaks, another man listens. And when one man listens, another man heals. That's the power of community. That's the power of not being alone in this battle. So let me ask you directly, have you ever felt that emptiness, the guilt, the secrecy, the exhaustion afterward? If you have, write just 3 words in the comments. "I've felt it." That's all. No details, no shame, just a simple signal to another man that he's not alone. And when you do, you might just find that by admitting your struggle, you start to reclaim your strength. Gentlemen, masculinity at this age is not measured by performance. It is measured by presence. By how much of yourself you still bring to your own life, your relationships, your health. And the first step toward reclaiming that presence is honesty. Honesty with yourself, and honesty with others who walk this same road. Because let me remind you, you are not broken. You are not weak. You are a man in transition. And handled with wisdom, that transition can lead not to decline, but to a deeper, richer, more resilient version of yourself than you ever imagined.